Hello and welcome back to Tera before Tera shuts down. Interestingly enough, they still have the calendar, even though you never have anything to claim from the calendar. Like, it used to be a thing that you would claim shit from the calendar when I was playing it in 2013, but not anymore. Also, I am very fatigued from this game by this point. If it was any other game, I would honestly have already stopped playing. Because when you're bored from doing the same thing over and over again, it's just not very fun. But I can't really do that with Tera because it's the last time that the game lives. So like if I stop playing it, then by the time the game shuts down, if I'm not like max level, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be like, oh, there were days when I could have done this and I had no health excuse for not doing it, but I didn't do it. Okay, apparently nobody really wanted me to fight any Eldritch defenders, fair enough. I also have an absolutely giant cat on my desk right now, which does not make this any easier. Don't tell me that. This will be uncomfortable. This is a very vertical level. So everything that I need, I won't know exactly where it is. It was me. Okay, at the very least I found these. Found these. Okay, at the very least I found 2 of my quests. 3. Actually, considering that for the Jesters it's like multiple quests. There's like 2. I found another one in here, I think. Yep, I found the Muppet Fletcher. Good kitty. Oh wait, that's what I found before already then. I'm not moving on with the main quest until I do the side quest that I found here. Mainly because I'm not entirely convinced that I will be able to find them this time again. Section 7. Set out of 12. At the very least. These ones should be easy to do. Yes. Alright, I forgot to switch on my chat. You know, it's unlikely that I will need it, but just in case. There we go. Thank you, chat. suppose I found this game a lot less irritating when it was harder. Might sound weird, but that is the truth. Hey, I actually completed something! Good. Alright, I need some tomes of these. And apparently nothing else. Oh, time to be kinda weird. By that I mean time to really run around here. To see where are the quests that I'm missing possibly are. You know, it's really weird that the spikes actually do damage to me because I just ran through them and they're wide enough for me to traverse there. Don't feel very spiky. Okay, so there's definitely nothing in here. I don't know why the arrows are still pointing me that way. I do potentially see a 3 in here. Yep, I see a 3 in here. Good. I always like finding my quests rather than not finding my quests. Card fragment. I was just gonna buy them at the end of the game, I mean, so I'm not very stressed about that. Oh, that sounds like really gloomy. I was just gonna buy them when the game ends, practically. It's fine. The structure of this place correctly, then that means that there's gonna be other floors that have like exits to other places, potentially have my other quests. Maybe. How am I getting hit by those spikes, by the way? Because I literally like ran into one. Did my character impale her face on it? Well, hey. Guys, do you really have another level? How tall is this place? Because that here's another level. In case you know you really wanted more. Okay, what am I looking for? I can see a room with a 1 on it. I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna find what I'm looking for in there, but... Ah, that sounds kinda almost like what I need, but not really. I needed vampire gentlemen of some sort, but I don't think that they were cursed. I think that's the issue. Wait, don't tell me that these ones work out. It sounds like they should. But I bet you anything they won't. I'm just gonna assume that it's the wrong type of vampire gentleman. I don't know what the one is doing in there then. I also don't know if it's the right floor for the two. It might not be. I mean, I suppose it's easier if you like use the talent of reading. That way you can like read where your quest is. I think that this is the max floor, thankfully. I am ignoring anyone that I don't particularly need. Okay, I think I should ignore this floor in its entirety. Like, I have nothing to gain here. Time to go down. Where did the stairs go? Oh. Found the stairs, it's fine. So not here. Not here. Hall of Masters, maybe. Hall of Masters for one. Ooh. Yeah, I think Hall of Masters for one. Yeah, see, this is the right enemy. As opposed to the wrong one, that's exactly like the right enemy, except with a different prefix. Off the dolls. Excuse me, dolls, do you know what I need off here? Oh, okay, it's just pocket watches, fair enough. So what is the one still doing on my screen? Ah, okay, I still need the dolls. Maybe it's the different kind of dolls, I don't know. Hello, does anyone know why I need to kill you? Like, I'm just doing some calm slaughter in here, and I'm like, And maybe maybe it's the wrong type of puppets. Maybe that's what the thing is. Because there's still like more Muppets to destroy. So potentially that's what the issue is. But it's weird that they don't really lose the question marks on their head. Wait, no, bloodstained hairbrush. Really, 0? That's on 1. He's supposed to be in the Muppets? What's the drop rate on those? Why does it feel like it's 0? Okay. Stand over here and figure out what's happening with this one, eh? Okay, it's... I think it's a... You get a higher chance from the noblewoman's, probably. That might be the issue. Because fuck me, this is like not a drop rate at all. Like 0 is quite specifically not a drop rate. You can't be like, oh, they might drop an item if the drop rate is 0. That's not, they might drop an item, that's very clearly they're not really dropping an item. How did I miss you guys? This is just a really cluster truck of guards. I do find it quite sweet though that ladies get their own hall and gentlemen get their own hall. Imagine having a house so big where a whole wing is just for ladies. Vampire ladies at that. If only to be undead and live quite wealthfully. That's the right word. I'm not too sure whether you being cursed affects your ability to have hairbrushes. No, apparently it does not. I don't know why they differentiate between the cursed and not cursed ones. Or whether the cursed ones experience any social rejection for being cursed. But I do know that they're still allowed to have hairbrushes. I like how she says more of the mud trace is typical on Discount Bay. But that just sounds like the invasion of their property is kind of a thing that they deal with often. It's kind of sad, honestly. Okay, there we go. I don't need anything else from here. So maybe, like, consider not chasing me. Thank you. There is a teleporter in here that can just take me where I should go. There's like absolutely no need for me to actually run there on foot. You look like you were successful. Brave Myrtle Wake. Oh, sweet Kaya, there's one on your back. Wait, no. Just a shadow. My mistake. Aw, you're so scared of tiny little girls. You did it! With these I can block the vampires and their mesmerizing magic. Thank you. I'm just a drone here going, for the Federation! You alive? Huh. I guess you're made of sterner stuff than I thought. Just goes to... Is that a doll with a knife behind you? I get the last laugh. Ah.
You need my help?
Tome of Agonies? Let me see. Oh dear, it's instructions for... Don't wanna say. Horrifying practices. But it mentions a secret research facility somewhere in the depths of the Citadel of Torment. Strange. Citadel of Torment? If Kaiden's still alive, that's the only place he could be. And, yeah, I know, and they just don't mention it. They just don't mention what it is. I'm leaning to the side because, my husband brought a whole bunch of really weird food items to our house, which I honestly quite enjoy. So I have packets of very healthy snack like roasted chestnuts and dried banana, and that was my first time actually eating roasted chestnuts. But there's also crepes with chocolate. Oh yeah, the horrifying thing. It's easier to measure if you put the cereal in first, but I suppose if you put in the milk, you just then pour the cereal for as long as it's the right amount of cereal. There's a Mysterium researcher holding down the post in the catacombs of this place. Last Stair's his name. Last Stair. He should be able to help you find this secret facility.
You look troubled.
Where are you? Okay, catacomb of history, fair enough.
Long war, but we'll win.
I just find it weird that everything's sold prepackaged. Like, you can't just effectively buy a pancake. I'm sorry, what?
Looks like someone played a trick on you. Always good to see a new face. Two for talking over into a bar.
Are you trying to tell a joke? I missed a dude that I need to deliver a thing to. Oh, there you are.
The Federation.
I was afraid that you were on a different floor. My dude, don't scare me like that. Alright, let's see if this works. I put these to my ears. What do you want, you damned voices? Let's hear it. Oh, they're the voices of the missing soldiers. Yes, my money comrades. Curses on Tosa. Curses on this foul place. The Eldritch defenders on Anguish Hates were truly the missing soldiers. Oh no. Eller is still up there trying to warn us. There's a curse which permeates this place. Oh, my friend. Okay, who? You?
No one can walk the path.
You! Okay. I get so confused due to lack of marking of anything. Eller, he was there here all the time? Oh, foul Thulsa, curse you for dishonoring a proud warrior so. You must find him. The curse may have altered his form, but he's still our comrade. Help him.
Magic requires
6th floor, so all the way up. This is such an annoying place. But apparently you wanted something else out of me. Martha Wick, are you good at jumping? How about falling? Well, I haven't died from fall damage yet. You know, maybe I am good at it. There's a scout there. Bakwar? Whom we haven't heard from some time. Check on him, then fight your way back up here when you're done down there. I'm sorry, what? Okay, I'm gonna assume that's floor 2. Floor 3, perhaps. Floor 4. 5. I'm assuming that they're going with American counting. 6, because otherwise this would be floor 5. Just the first floor would have been ground floor. You heard my voice. I don't want anyone to see me like this, but I cannot just lie down and die when my fellow soldiers are in danger. I mean, dude, that form is cool, just keep it. May look like a monster, but once I was just like you, an honorable soldier of the Federation, a mighty warrior who stormed the halls of Kaiden himself. We all believed we could seize this place without breaking a sweat, but the time we realized that these halls were filled with our worst nightmares, it was too late to retreat. Most have gone completely mad. And some have changed into hideous with creatures. Those has cursed me by letting me keep my sanity, so I can see how far I've fallen. You can't help me. Then why are you giving me a quest, bro? My cursed body may still look alive, but it's only because my soul is still trapped in it. My mission is to liberate my comrades from their misery. Okay, kill more people. Got it. And then you want me to kill some cursed vampire gentlemen. And stuff. One of the quests requires me to get to places really weirdly. I think it starts on the 6th floor. We'll see. Look, if you keep your sanity but look like this, I just consider it an upgrade. You're not cursed, you're just better. It would be like if we he like woke up being half a lizard and be like, I absorb sun better and I don't need to eat as often and I am much stronger. Oh, woe is me, I am so cursed. Like, if you don't actually, like, know where you are or who you are, yeah, that's a problem, but... My dude, my guy over there, he's fine. He's completely and literally fine. He just doesn't like it. I don't know what these two were doing in the corner, but they were together, alright. And very firmly stacked. I am gonna assume the worst. Though I do like it. So that's 3. You know, they have such, like, big rooms, but I literally no idea what they do in here. Like, most of the times I come in, the enemies are just staring at walls. They're not like, oh, let me read a book or do anything else that makes sense. No, it's just like, let me just stare at a wall. Maybe they're really bored. In which case, I'm kind of glad to provide them with a little bit of entertainment at least. These are like special enemies. Like they're supposed to be extra hard. And I'm gonna assume that they're supposed to actually give you a reward for your troubles, and neither ever happens to me. Like, they're never part of a quest, and they're never that difficult, they just stand there. I really don't need to kill you right now. I will if I have to, but I would prefer not to. I have unleashed the dude's 15 friends. I hope he's happy. Though to be fair, if he's like trapped in that body with his soul still intact and he is sane, who's to say that the rest of the dudes have souls? Maybe it's just their animated bodies. Maybe it's fine, dude. Never again will they torture another soldier. Here's something else for you. I hope it will help you in your journey. You cannot imagine the agony of watching your own body change of its own volition. As for me, I can no longer imagine what stability feels like. Thank you for helping them. Here's a reward for your deeds. This place may be old, but it holds many treasures. So, you're just gonna stay here? All right there, bro. Room with the caved-in floor. Southwest. Okay. I was right. This does start on the 6th floor. You know, we're gonna be teleporting down again for all of the other questy poos, but like... I hope down means less floors. Because we had 6 floors up. Maybe down is just flat terrain, which I would definitely prefer. Much easier to navigate. Hello!
What's your name again?
The bad news. That's the hole you're jumping through. And no, there's no other way down. The good news. We sent the teleport master down there yesterday, so you should be able to get back. Assuming the teleport master survived the drop, that is. You sure about this? Well, so far, actually, I don't actually need to jump. It's just a very leisurely stroll down. And this is like blocked. This isn't blocked though. Yeah! That's not too bad. You just run down there. You can run back up there as well. What a rush, eh? Hope you mastered the combat as well as you mastered gravity, warrior. We got a lot of work to do here. Where am I? Where's... I'm really confused about where I am and where that is.
You need anything from me? We'll stay strong.
Okay, that's in the catacomb of... Sorry.
Such urgency.
Allies.
You know, fine, I'm just gonna do this fast and then I'm gonna go back there. I have a feeling that this is level 3 and that's level 2. Actually, I can probably check that. Hall of Maidens. Antechambers. What even? So that's the gloom post. Oh no, Catacomb of Misery is one down. I'm gonna assume that down is good and up is bad, meaning that we should do these quests first. Got it.
Soldier.
Talk about a target-rich environment. We've been trying to push into the deeper levels, but the blood guards are tough nuts to crack. We need some serious Mirth Awake style disruption, in other words. Take out blood guard berserkers and reapers.
A memorable
Okay, I was
meeting.
so tired from this game by this point. Because it's so samey. But the fact that I'm getting lost in here is for some reason actually the entertaining factor at the moment. They're up to something. Who? The necromancers. I don't know much about them, we catch only glimpses of them, but I think they're in charge. See if you can gather some intelligence from a necromancer
Let
corpse.
us reason together.
That's not called gathering intelligence. The Blood Guard is Thosa's most elite unit. That's called grave robbing. They protect the place and so are a serious threat to the Federation garrison. Worse, they seem to be up to something lately. You can find Blood Guard mages, sorcerers, and arcanists near the Shrieking Catacombs and the Distortion Prison.
Strength in unity. What's wrong?
How dare the twisted monstrosities call themselves Blood Guards? It sickens me. Every time I see them, I pretend to be real soldiers. I die a little inside. They're monsters. Awake, show them what a real soldier looks like. Hunt down Blood Guard Lancers and Champions and take their emblems. They don't deserve to wear them.
Somehow?
I'm sorry, my dude, but other armies allowed to also have an army? Not exclusive to you. Oh, I can actually hit those? Cool. Didn't know that. Like, monsters can also have their own guards. And I'm not too sure that taking their emblems after they die is stripping them of their rank. Just once again, kinda grave robbing. Okay, or at least completing 2 things in one sleep. But I am so incredibly slow. Ah. Hello. Hello. Ooh, secret documents. I like it. I like being privy to secrets, that's fun. I was instructed to murder all of you because the other dude does not really like it, the fact that you guys are allowed to have an army. Apparently he gets to judge who belongs in an army and who doesn't. Friggin' dude here gatekeeping the army. Imagine if any real country did that. You're not a real soldier, you belong to the wrong country! Meanwhile here it's like, you're not a real soldier, you're the wrong species! We have declared this to be true. I don't entirely know if I will actually have to go anywhere that's not this room. Because I seem to be completing a lot of quests here, we'll see. Like, I'd rather black targets than move. I don't like moving, okay? issue is that their drop isn't really guaranteed, unfortunately. It's like they may drop a thing, they may not drop a thing. It's quite frustrating. And they have a friendo. Their friendo is like always with them. But the other little dudes around just plainly don't care. So you know, at the very least you have one friend. That friend that will be like, no, Carl, he was my favorite. See, we can determine that these dudes form social bonds. Don't we feel good about ourselves now? Okay, there's only one quest, and unfortunately I do need to go places for it. Excuse me! Coming through. Have some other killing to do. God damn it! Hit myself. I like that ladder. It leads absolutely nowhere. Is that... That's so that you can actually hang people on the cages? If it is, then hey dudes, at the very least you actually thought about that. Props to you. Most just assume that you chuck people in there like a basketball. Oh, okay, there's stairs this way. Like, how will I get down? Oh. This is like the exact same deal as it was with the Lancers and Arcanists, except that this is Reapers and Sorcerers. Ah, budding relationships. They're like, we synergize well. They're my buddy. I like them. Well, I appreciate that you have social ties, my dude. It's very sweet. Oh. I poked the wrong dudes. Whoopsie daisy. This dude can't give me what I want. That was very silly of me. Sent on non-stop extermination missions of enemies that are not too difficult. Just gives you really too much time to think. I don't appreciate it. Do I need? Berserker? Where are you dudes? Not in this room, apparently. Gonna be up and down again then, I suppose. I need to do the down on the other side, I think. Didn't need to get off my horsey, good. Ooh! Never mind, there's like 2 of you here. Might be slow, but I can't just camp these 2 guys because I'm lazy. Ooh, there's 2 more. What convenient rooms! Really not where the 1 check mark was, but never mind that. I just sat here thinking that I honestly forgot how old I am. Makes me want to say that I'm still 27 when I'm not. The fight music in here just really sounds like cursed Christmas track. Who installed these spikes? Because they can't be comfortable for anybody. Like, attackers, defenders don't really matter. It can't work that well.
You look ready for battle.
Victory! I'll prepare the troops to seize the territory that's not ours. Let me look at that. Ah, it says that the Tulsa built some kind of device in the prison of the Abyss. Wherever that is, and is capturing dead souls that should be returning to the dream. That explains a lot, doesn't it? What have you found? We'll need to study this further, but it may answer our questions about how Tulsa's power is supporting the Bloodguard. Before I get far into these, here's your reward. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I didn't do it.
I wasn't accusing you of anything, but now I'm suspicious. I'm gonna burn every one of these emblems personally right away. I mean, that sounds unnecessary, but okay.
Oh, greetings.
Ooh. What? Okay, I did not expect this. I'm getting level 50 gear. Let's do 1 necklace, 2 earrings. Need 1 more ring. Do I have 1 more ring in here? Don't think I do. Brother, I need boots. Outfit. Weapon. I'm like lacking gloves and a ring, I think. Yeah, I am lacking gloves and a ring. Oh.
Don't push yourself so hard.
Now this is a surprise because this is very, very, very premature. Nice to know that I'm not gonna get any armor set until level 50. Catacomb of Misery, please. Now I'm prepared to get here. That other place was a bit weird because it was kind of slightly sideways.
Share a story with me.
Necromancer's tomb in the depths? No chance. I would have found it. Unless it's behind that shield. There's a place in the bloody depths that's shielded by powerful magic. I haven't broken through it yet. I've been busy. But no shield is impenetrable. Every lock has a key.
Spend a moment here.
Ooh! Main story quests give XP. Wow! Didn't realize that. I'm awake, right? Maybe you can help me. The ordinary soldiers are useless. They sent me here to study the undead and found weakness, but the troops can't gather specimens. Kill things. Everyone's worried about the undead in here, but that's just a part of the problem that we can see. I think I figured out how Thulsa is doing it. He's using invisible ghosts. That sounds like quite the theory to propose. As a conduit to send dark energy to the other undead. We can't fight what we can't see directly, but we can keep them from getting the energy in the first place. That means collecting ether ducts from the chambers of endless misery. That means you! Enough of this fighting, hallway by hallway, stairway by stairway. Time to apply some mysterium ingenuity to the problem. Take this scrambler and install it in each of the 3 assess devices in the right order. I should starve his invisible ghosts of its energy. And with the ghosts out of the picture, Thulsa will lose control of the undead. That reminds me that there's an object here. Ever since we entered this level, the strange magic stone seems to have had the power to repel the undead, so we have set up a base nearby. Perhaps we can break through the magic barrier using this tombstone. Do you want to examine the strange magic stone? I'll see if there's another option.
Fortune favors the patient. Memories endure, friend.
I wish I could do more.
It should be like right here. Ah, there we go. It's a very warm stone?
Consider the core.
What did you do? The field was there and then it just vanished. You'll have to tell me later. We don't know how much time we have. The research facility entrance is probably right behind where the shield was. I'll let the strike team know. We'll be right behind you. Okay, so I'm gonna do that after I do every other quest, I think, because there's a lot. Call it a mission of mercy. We face many enemies here, but the Mekonari Magisters and Coolheart Inquisitors are the cruelest and most sadistic. They torture the living and the dead alike. Put an end to their cruelty.
Elegant magic from a bygone age.
Elegant magic from the bygone age. That's how I like to introduce myself. Relentless Disc Reapers protect the halls of the Necromancer tomb. They're just guards, but nightmarishly effective ones. Kill the Disc Reapers.
Strengthen your mind.
We tried, Murtawake, we really did. We thought we could somehow free the Eldritch Blood Knights from their torment. They used to be people after all, but there's only one way, destroy them. More slaughter, slaughter, kill, kill.
Hello?
I heard you aren't afraid of getting your hands dirty. I've got a job that involves dirty hands. Or fingers, actually. And the rings on them. I recognized a face among the undead. Old army buddy. Not sentimental, but his dad was a jeweler and it got me thinking. Wonder how many of the undead are carrying valuables. I mean, you're not just gonna, I don't know, bring that to his dad? Nah? Okay. Fair, I suppose. Your choice. Actually, feel sorry for the rotting prisoners. It's clear that they're shambling through the corridors here against their will. Myrtaway, can you put them out of the misery and return their souls to the dream?
But don't push yourself so hard.
Right, the map. The map! This crazy place, but Ebonheart Inquisitors captured and tormented me. We fled when Kaiden arrived, but it took me days to get free. I have to get out of here. This place terrifies me. I can still see their horrible eyes of those hell torturers. Can you clear them out of the way? Well, at the very least, I don't need to escort you because this place is a hell when it comes to figuring out where you are. They aren't as bad as the horrible dolls, but the monsters down in the catacomb of misery and the bloody depths are still nothing to sneeze at. The merciless armored, relentless and pitiless disc reapers have managed to chase down and kill a number of soldiers and researchers. You must eliminate them. I also must upgrade my skills. Pardon me. Do I know what I'm upgrading? No. Do I care? Also no. It's fine.
Be careful out there in the wilderness.
Okay, who else has a quest in here?
I'm starving.
Oh, an unfortunate lady. Wow, what an unfortunate lady. Would be funny if it weren't so sad. It wasn't my revenge scheme, you know. Sent my own son Hector after the Gasharans. A vengeful shade got him, though a few other soldiers escaped. Already avenging my husband? Can you avenge my son as well? I think I met your son. He's like, isn't he on the 6th floor? Gasharans killed my husband, and I want revenge. After all the close scrapes we shared, I guess I assumed that we always be together. Beware though. Those Gasharans are lethal. My poor husband never knew what hit him. Don't worry, he didn't have the power of respawn. She looks so incredibly ordinary. I don't say that like as a curse or a praise. I'm just surprised that she's alive. Okay, that's the bloody depths. And this is the catacomb of misery. Right. Okay. God damn it. I staked myself again. Mom! The spikes hurt. I'm gonna start from the catacomb of misery. I'm gonna be trying to avoid going down as much as possible. It's gonna stick to up. These things are also like a level higher than I am, because they're slightly red. They're still lower than I am. Wonder why they're slightly red. Maybe the game is like, they're dangerous. Hello, Mira. Like, I completely understand why they're not gray. But I am currently 46. And they're 45, so being slightly red makes no sense. I am gonna solve as many quests as I can without changing the location. Once I'm killing the Reapers in here. Because the fact that there's multiple floors is confusing enough. I wonder if the ether thingies are anywhere else. They're probably not called ether thingies, honestly. Rotting stave, rotting prison. I'm not seeing any. At the very least, they're not marked here. Yeah, it is an ether thingy. Good! So, like, am I mixing them with something else? So, all of them count as minions. Do I even need to go a floor? That was a lot of quests, actually. I don't know if I need to go a floor down or not. Okay, so those are 2 quests that are complete. Maybe eventually I'll find a reason to go down there. The numbers don't help because they're also spawning several floors. And so things might be a floor beneath or a floor, well, mostly just here or a floor beneath. It's better than when they spawn 6 floors. Okay, those are Inquisitors and not minions. So some are minions and some are Inquisitors. Got it. These ones are Magisters. Boy oh boy, is there like a lot of enemies that are all very, very similar. Not in appearance, but considering that I'm slaughtering like shit ton at a time, I honestly may as well be killing fluffy bunnies. I don't think I would notice. But this is just like a pile that's on the staircase. Beautiful. That would mean that they can be above. Not very likely to be above. Hello here. Aw, you're very stuck. Sad for you. I mean, rotting prisoners. Trying to get a better look at them. Because they're so tiny. Is imprisoning your rotting prisoners. Include shrinking them, because I really need to know. Okay, so I didn't climb down here, I came through here. Oh, I need more Inquisitors. Hey, baby guys. How do you guys even end up here, eh? Okay, several of them actually link you to multiple locations at once. Like, eliminate anguished minions and Ebon Inquisitors in endless misery and bloody depths. Don't have access to Essie's devices. Whatever those are. I do have access to an Inquisitor in here, though. I think there was one more this way, maybe. Yeah, there was. Good, good. everybody sees this as putting them out of their misery, but... I'm not too sure that they're seeing it this way. So I'm just doing a murdering. Very disconcerting to see like 2, 3, and 8 on the map. Means that there's between 2 and 3 and 8. There's like 5 numbers. That means that there's 5 numbers somewhere else. Probably downstairs. At the very least, at that point when I go, there's gonna be no doubt that all of my objectives are downstairs or really screwed up somewhere. Ooh, 7? Oh right, it's because I did one. I'm like, the number went down by 1, what? I only did a thing. There's like a room that is entirely true, but the game's shutting down at the end of June. So, surely would be a good idea to do everything. And I am quite peeved that they don't give XP or anything else, honestly. Because the last time I played seriously was in 2013. So this is kind of like observing the corpse of a game. Not very nice. I think I should go down. I'm even doing optional zones. Yeah, it's because it's gonna be not existing soon. And during the private servers will continue existing. I don't need to worry about showing them off. Yep. I assumed so. That's nice. I have a feeling that if I do this, I will have slight issues coming back here, so I'm not doing this yet. So we need to remember that Necromancer Tomb entrance is here. Yeah, there's one that's like the release and there's one that's on an older patch. I know that my husband was playing on before the leveling rework server. Okay, god damn navigation in this place. I don't blame them for allowing you to skip all of this leveling process. But honestly, it's a big part of a game So, to know that it's not fleshed out and it's for the most part just kill quests is kinda sad. Oh, great for the superior guardian, whoever that is. It doesn't help the developers didn't even like wanna come back and flesh things out. They were just like, we're shutting the game down because we're bored. Which is a fantastic excuse to stop a product from existing. Oh, okay. Found an Inquisitor. Cool. I need like 8 more. Need to remember that's where I want to go. So that's one Inquisitor. And does the downstairs have more by any chance? Oh, yes, maybe. I think it's worth investigating that one. Seems to be quite a few quests that I have inside the Necromancer tomb. I mean, thankfully solo things are a thing. Yep, I still need this thing. Oh, that's the second device! Alright, so the devices are here too. Where's the first one then? The wrong type of Inquisitor? That's the wrong type of Inquisitor. I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be in the big rooms. Makes sense if it's in the big rooms. Excuse me, coming through. That's the third one. Where's the first? Probably all the way up. Probably. Hey! At least I'm fighting more Inquisitors. This is such a hunt for enemies. Because they don't exist everywhere. They just exist in specific places. Surprised though that the private server is giving out level 70s for free, considering that the game made it a buyable thing. Yep, this is not gonna be the one. Excuse me, sir, I'm looking for the one. Oh, this is the one. Morning, Anarba. Have a great Saturday morning. Okay. One. Get to die. I am honestly quite surprised that it's 2-3-1. Suppose I can just go through here. This works. I swear the other one was here, no? Maybe. Probably sure. Fizzle's up for it. That's the 2. And 3 is this way and down. Hey, that's the 3. Before I'm entering the instance, I'm definitely going back and recording because I want to know what side quests do I even still have left, and I am kind of confused because that was a lot. That was definitely a lot. Okay, that's the up. Goes to the down. And this would be the shit tons of quests.
Triumph belongs to the strong.
There we go. Whoop.
Unity gives us power.
I honored things by killing things, yes.
Presence.
You die down there, you rather your soul return to the Titan's dream than be trapped in an undead body for years, not centuries. I don't know, that seems pretty sweet. Now, Tulsa will have great difficulty giving the undead the necromantic power they need. Flawless victory.
You can't prove anything.
Hey, it's quite a pile, let me see. Hey, this one is the one I saw. I have a mate back home. Well, potential mate anyway. It's just the sort of thing I can seal the deal with, if you know what I mean. No way, of course I won't tell her where I got it. My little secret. I got your ring, honey, off a dead man. It's fine. You've given them the piece of the dream, Myrta. Maybe someday we'll kill Tulsa and he'll descend into nightmare.
Looking good, friend.
Ah, you truly laugh in the face of death. The Disc Reapers have killed so many, collecting their insignia as trophies. I've fought on the bloodiest battlefields, but nothing makes my blood run cold like this
Have
one.
we met?
That's Necromancer Tomb, that's Necromancer Tomb, that's Necromancer Tomb, that's Necromancer Tomb. And another and another. Okay. Got it. I need my horsey. I need to run all the way over there now. Okay, all the other quests have been done. Absolutely certain of this. Good. And he didn't let me have my horsey for long. Annoying bastard. I'm going the wrong direction. Thank you guys for not letting me have my horsey for long. This place is just really confused. I need to get here. Excuse me. Coming through. I can charge through spikes. Good to know. How damn you! You like not? Would be very nice. I have other things to do. One of the things that I'm gonna do is not be here. That seems reasonable. No, one of those didn't stab me and the other one did. I should probably not be missing anything else. Good. Good. The fact that my main quest is still level 43 is slightly disturbing to me. Hello!
A moment here.
Can you feel that? No, of course you can't. Trust me, the necromantic power in this room is strong. And guess what else we found? Berots, one of the Kaidan's trusted lieutenants. He's in bad shape, but he should be able to answer questions. You good here, bro? Kaidan found out the core was being confined here, but it was a trap. Something overtook us, took our minds, they captured Kaidan. I tried to get out and alert Freya, but I didn't make it. Thank you. My older brother Akan is in there. Tell him I'm safe and you come to rescue them. Please save my comrades. I is very surprised that your comrades are not dead yet. I'm also very surprised that I don't have any quests for those things, and I am now very suspicious on that. To have quests for like everything else. If I'm missing a quest or a dungeon, I'm just gonna pretend that I'm not missing a quest for a dungeon. Thankfully, the dungeon is very circular. And has kind of cool music. It's also kind of hard to hear. Only flares up all that often. Hello? Is my worst nightmare spikes? Because I don't think so. Like, here comes your worst nightmare, and it's like, what would that be? You mix me and you up? Are we
Get
free?
stronger.
Thank you.
Faster.
Never stop fighting.
Are you here to help us? Yeah, I'm here to take all your fish. Sorry. That's all of those done. Hello, my dudes. All together, please. It seems like it's pretty rare that I get to just group things up. Wait, what the heck was I seeing up there? Quest? I'm sorry? West? 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 Where's that quest marker even? And once again, the game is like, "Ooh, these are so dangerous!" They're really not. The quest on here might explain those enemies that didn't have any markers. You search the decomposing body of the Federation officer and find a letter in the breast pocket. I suppose I'm just gonna deliver it to the dead guy's wife later. Fair enough. Saw another one, but I don't think that I can get into that quest room. Not until I go and defeat the other thingy duty over there. Hey, I completely forgot that in dungeons when you kill things they don't respawn. Weird. Aww, cursed mutant dwarves. That's cute. Yep, I took the wrong way around. Let me take the right way around, I guess. Aw, no horsey for me. That's not fair. I like horsey. Horsey good. Horsey the bestest. Okay, I have somehow not been in this room. Well, now I have been in this room. Okay. Can't do anything with the necromancy device, which is once again very sus. And the fact that those enemies don't have anything for a quest on them is also very sus. Expect everything to have a quest on them. Okay, 3 more. Ha! Found you! Oh, these devices are like everywhere. Needed to avoid attacks here. There we go. And my man is very dead, and there's another quest in here. Aw, hi Hector. Soldier's corpse clings to a leather satchel. The satchel has the name Hector engraved on it. Thankfully, you decided that signing your items is a good idea. Managed to accidentally die while just pushing bosses non-stop. Not yet. It's shutting down in June. June 30th. So at the end of this month. Before that, I'm just trying to get to max level. It also has 2 private servers running. One is for a game that's currently exactly the same way that it is. And the other one is for pre-update of, I think, 2017, when the game was considerably harder. Okay. And the fact that I'm used to the game being harder really does annoy me. Because I remember the times when you could actually die in this game. So my boy here does a lot of shit. So you are dead now. There's a lot of thingies everywhere else. I don't really want to leave the area full of wraiths. Excuse me. I think they're not respawning, hopefully. I think we're fine. There we go. Not one remaining. Okay. No way to get to my other quest objectives from here, so I need to do a bit of a run around again. But this door is hopefully open now. Yep, it is. Good. Bit more convenient. There's no more 3 in here, meaning my last 3 is over here. And some enemies were not quest mobs, which is definitely very suspicious for me. To me, it just sounds like I might have missed a quest. That's it for that. Still need a 2 and a 1. And all of the quests that I'm currently doing is completely optional. But if I'm gonna be showing off what the game looked like before it shut down, then showing off the optional quests kind of feels right. Kind of feels like something that should be done. Ooh, upstairs. With a bit more enemies that are neither here nor there. Very suspicious. Okay. Only one thing is remaining now. Alrighty then, that was a ladder. If you want to climb ladders, you should probably grab the ladder. That's probably how the ladders work.
Give me a high four.
I can buy some crystals in here. Also sell some things. That is a ring. I'm lacking a lot less now. I already have all of my crystals, so you can have them. If I ever need those as well, I have enough thingies that I can just exchange to just, you know, get them. There's something still left here. I'm not entirely sure what. Who are you? What do you want? Barats, he lives? It's too late for me. But the others, you'll have to defeat Rhizarius to save them. Okay, so that's the quest that was left. The main quest! Apparently had nothing to do with the boss fights, huh? Ah, the dungeon. Don't worry about the dungeon. The dungeon is the optional objective in the dungeon. That makes sense.
Honor to soldiers. Fuel your fighting spirit.
Your skills are coming together.
Oh no. Right, side problem, I already done that. I think the best that I can do is get out and then do it again. I've just done it in the completely wrong way. The game absolutely has no way of seeing this for some bizarre reason. Just incapable of understanding that I've done goofed. I think I can just re-enter again. Reset the instance. I was able to just reset the instance, thankfully. So now I just need to do all the boss fights. This is confusing. At the very least, I hope that this worked. No, it didn't. Okay, time to Google how to reset. Done. Yeah, somebody else did that. Good. Profile menu. Where the heck is that? Ah, there we go. Profile. Am I really in the right place? Instances. Whew. Okay. At least that is an option. At least that is an option. Okay, now I just need to get to the boss. Why can you do this? Like, why is there an option to do it wrong? God damn it. God damn, so much killing to do. And now I can go through here. Oh, to be fair, you can't create new accounts anymore. That has already been closed. And so was purchasing anything. Hi, it's me again. I killed you wrong the last time. I am so sorry. This is the dude that's like, I'm just gonna kill you with easy to avoid spikes. That definitely makes sense as a thing that you should do. Okay.
I and my weapon are one.
We failed Kaiden. We couldn't stop Tulsa. I understand.
Good to meet you. Believe in your own strength.
Thank you, but where's Kaiden? Isn't he with you? Nope.
Welcome.
Kaiden is gone. Tulsa worked a terrible magic on him, deforming and mutating him into a monster. We have to free him. Tulsa has him in prison. Before he was changed, Kaiden slipped me this. He called it a liquid quick key. I think its purpose is to break the imprisoning spell. Take it. Use the passage behind me and go left where the corridor crosses another. Kill Dolmek the Glutton. Destroy necromancy device. Ah, so that's what the device was for. Alright. Hey guys, you can just run after me. I don't mind. But I'm not stopping at the moment. I'm speedrunning this dungeon. The heck am I doing? Apparently arming a bomb. Interesting. God damn it, tiny annoying things. Interesting. No necromantic. Oh, two necromantic devices here. Don't mind me. I somehow got two and none confused. Happens sometimes. Can you like not? Places to be and people to see. And you're neither places nor people. Okay. That's one more dead thing. Several more devices to destroy. It is quite silly that the game just like allows you to go around and kill enemies and then doesn't register that you already killed them. This thing takes a very long time to arm and it feels like you're arming grass. Which is weird. I need to find one more device. Here? No, it isn't. Not gonna kill things in advance because bad things happen when I do that. You see, for the item there's a button, but there's not like a button that just says receive the boss again. I have to assume that there was a necromantic device in the room where I talked with the dude and I missed it. Ah, it's here, okay. There we go. Oh, so that's Kaiden. I didn't know that. I mean, the enemy's name is Mutated Kaiden, but guess who didn't read that? Me. All that I know is that it can summon really annoying wraiths, and then it takes forever to eliminate those. You gotta give it to Kaiden, he at least got to be very cool. This time he didn't spawn anything.
I am finally free.
Thank you. There's not much time. Delfrey also took the core. He's on his way to Wal Pandara. Tell her I'm sorry. This isn't how the hero stories are meant to end. Tell her I loved her. Love her. Always. I will. You can trust almost no one. I'm glad you're on her side. Okay, I need to figure out where I report the quests that are for the tomb, but not for, in the nope, wrong button, Horsey. Thank you. It's in here. I am not going anywhere before I report the quests in here, because getting here will be a pain in the bottom. God damn it! I'm bad with the spiky things. I must say that the spiky things serve no good purpose whatsoever. I am so glad that somebody else has also managed to do the instance wrong. So I had to figure out there's a button to reset instances. Probably was made for this very purpose. If somebody did a dump. They're just over there. Over there is so far away. There's so many spiky things.
Greetings.
There you go, my man.
What do you want?
Whew. Vengeance has concluded. Let the grieving begin. You sound like a robot, lady. This doesn't make the loneliness go away, but I'll admit it puts a bit of a smile on my face. Thanks, Mirthawake. I like killing. This is Hamilton's handwriting. I'll read it, but first I need to grieve. My son's satchel. I recognize it anywhere. Thank you.
Can you feel the power?
Starting to take control of this place. I can feel it.
Focus. Do.
Souls have found peace in the dream. Good for them! A carrot. Do I have a scroll? Here? this work? Yes, it will. Yeah! Safe haven teleport scroll for the win. Now I would like to get rid of this, thank you. And my small map. Get off my big one. Why is there a quest here? I don't remember you being here.
Why are you here?
I ask
An honor
myself
to
that
see
every
you.
day. Our shipment of Eldritch shards is hung up somewhere in Bleak Rock. Go there and ask Hilda what we have to do to get them yesterday. Bleak Rock, say? I don't think I've done Frost Reach. God damn it! I don't remember if I've done Frost Reach.
Helping others is a delight.
I know you did everything you could, but it's just so sad. I can't bear to tell Freya he's dead. And Thulsa has the core! If this becomes known, there'll be widespread panic. Aletheia will descend into chaos. I will, but first... I think I've done Mount Tyrannus and I've done Tempest Reach for sure. Not too sure I've done Frost Reach. And I'm not too happy to remember that I might have not done it. Could have probably flown, but this is honestly almost faster. And you get to listen to the beautiful sound of howling winds. My joints get to remember the winter and hurt preemptively as the wind roars and my brain goes, it must be cold. I am also so surprised that Frost Reach is 40 to 45, yet the quest it sends you there is 44. Game, are you sure that it's 40 to 45? Out of 41 to 45. You sure it's not 44 to 45? Because that would make a lot more sense. Fishing pond. I'm not gonna use it, but still. I think it's the first time I'm seeing one. Is that a dungeon? Because that is for sure a teleporter. Don't know if there's a lot of writing on those shards, but I do know that there is a lot of writing. Mostly done by me. Mostly here. Hello! Hit me, baby, one more time. Just tell me what you need. It's not you.
You look like you need help.
Come down and kill Junaider raiders. Got it. Killing! Always killing. Murder, murder, murder.
Have we met?
Chance, it's not my fault. The Wendigos are on the rampage. The Junaider are raiding the camps. A passing Papori ate them. Okay. Just don't have any right now. Triforcer. You tried every excuse on the map, lady.
How can I help?
Bleak Rock depends upon the Eldritch Shard trade for its economic survivor. Would like to diversify, but Alemantia pays so well for the shards that nothing else is profitable. We're running out of deposits, however. We'll send someone along the ice trail to look. Would you check on deal? Check in on deal. Got it. Running out of ice shards. Got it. Don't have the time. The Eldritch Shards are what makes the region strategically valuable. It used to be so easy. We had a good rapport with the Vendigos, at least until the Giants came. Between the Giants, Steven, Marks, and angry Vendigos are up passing. It's time to take offensive. Report to Dina.
You fought with the Amani before?
You fought with the Amani before? No, but I can definitely fight with absolutely anything and everything. Come at me, bro.
Breathe, child. Breathe.
My shards are all earmarked for Elementia. Don't even bother trying to outbid the Mysterium. Just between us, I've heard a rumor that Magistrate has been hanging on to a private hoard.
Hey. What?
Eldritch shards with relatively little power still make fabulous weapons. Of course, they'll cut your hand open if you're not detected. I need some leather to wrap these with. Kill Malago's Eye Stalkers. Well, nice to know that you're mining your region dry. I greet you. There is much for you to do. The Jedi struck a mining camp a few days ago. Many miners were killed and quite a few Eldritch shards stolen. We need you to strike back and recover these shards. Got it. Got it for everything. I just really have it. Private stash? I haven't been hoarding shards. Are you crazy? I'm sorry. They don't exactly grow on trees. You did hoard the shards. I don't blame you, my dude. Might be a smart thing to do, honestly. Maybe... Don't mine your region to extinction. That might be an idea. Murder, murder, murder. Don't have time, have murder. It's okay, I'm getting your packs right now. And I'm getting your shards right now. Shard problem will go away soon. Have other places to be. Other people to see. Other things to do. Is that a camp? Does that camp have anything? I don't know. Sure has things. Well, it sure has women on high heels and naked bodies. You're a raider because you don't have clothes. That explains it. Just a really horny person made this good. Fine. Did I find anything inside you? I don't know. Thankfully, you're dead now. Okay, so naked ladies especially have to get it. Got it. That makes perfect sense. So cold! Yes, well, you would be, considering that you're in the nude. That makes complete sense. Why are you naked? You're like, so cold! That's the person that came in without clothes on. They really barely exist as well. Suppose there wasn't an army big enough to volunteer to go into nowhere without clothes on. It's a fashion statement to be freezing your ass. It's fine. Don't think about it. And yes, sometimes people will do that for fashion. They will go places pretty much in the nude, but at the same time, they don't tend to work like that. They tend to walk through the place and enter a building, which is not outside. And it's not freezing, and they still tend to have more clothes on than this. We had to talk about extreme level of nudity, this would be it. Where's my horsey? Here's my horsey. Sorry, naked ladies, don't have time. Got more murder to do in a different location. Then I need to find a dude named Dio. I don't know who you guys are, but you are on my list of murder, so... Ah, I'm skinning you, that makes sense. That's why I wanna murder you all. It's for your skin. Perfect. Not homicidal at all. Not creepy. I swear. I even skinned the small ones. I'm not picky. You are an adult or a child. It's fine. I will skin you all. I can't promise that you'll enjoy it, but I will. So, you know, keep that in mind. Thank you for your donation. Your skin will be appreciated and worn. Still need to find a guy named Dio, but I may as well report in while I'm running past. That is gloves. And now I have a full level 50 set of gear. Good.
Ready to fight and win.
I did a murder.
What's the matter?
Did a murder for you too.
Begging for
And
help, are you?
I've done a murder for you as well. I am glad we all could come to an agreement with all of the murders that I've done. Now, excuse me. Here's a deal with my name on it. It is my deal specifically. I claim it. I put a ring on it, you cannot have it. I hope that Mr. Dio is not besieged by naked ladies. For that would be absolutely indecent. Hello, Mr. Dio. Are you besieged by naked ladies by any chance? Yes, yes. Everyone wants to know where the next deposit is. To be honest, our existing mines are just about tapped out, but the plans are showing promise. Here, I take this report back. It explains everything. Be careful, though. The Junitaro would slit your throat for the report.
I'm glad our paths crossed.
Four souls desperate for barbed diamonds. All my resources are hunting down Eldritch shards, or I'll help. Do you think you could gather some? Sure. Let's see some. Like right here. Okay, so Muta is in Bleak Rock. Any more barbed diamonds? Barbie Diamond Cookie. Barbie Diamond Cookie. So it seems that the best thing that you can do for your own entertainment is get me to do something so repetitive that I'll eventually start going nuts. And then I'll start talking about Barbie Diamond Cookie. Okay, that's the last Barb Diamond. Woo! I do see 2 stations, and nothing has directed me there for now. I am sus. I am very sus. Will you do that Ellen Popora zone thing where half the quests are just not gonna be engaged unless you go there? Or are you gonna do the we didn't finish the zone thing where all the quest givers existed but quests thus did not?
You sought me out?
This is bad. These suggestions take us deeper into Vendigo territory. I'll be fighting more than mining. Take this report to Praetor Nunard and see what he thinks, if he thinks it's possible. Who is that? Why does he have a name like that? I would take an edgy person named X at the moment. Possible, yes, desirable, no. The Vendigos present a different threat than the Junider. If we have to fight just to mine, we'll lose a lot of lives. Well, that magistrate has spoken. I'll get the troops ready. Bleak Rock's in decent shape, Murta. We can still handle things ourselves. Some of the field sites are in more dire need than we are. Head south to Ice Stalker. Ah, here we go. That's my cue to go somewhere else.
Another day, another misguided youth.
Ah, so you brought me diamonds. This nose must be stained red indeed if you got these from under the Junider's noses. Cut properly, and these will sell well to arcanists and jewelers. Thank you indeed. I appreciate every quest that isn't murder quest, because those are rare. Where are you? Okay, on that flag. Got it. Run, run, run we go. Gently down the horse. It would be very, very, very Merly. If I was even a little bit north. There we go. Beautiful frozen trees. Suppose you could sell frozen wood? That would do it. Ah, so that's why you don't like Vendigo things. Because they're like big and smacky. That makes sense. Oh wow! Okay, quest galore. Hello, I heard you need help. Not worries too much. Yes, we're up to our necks in Wendigos, but we're holding our own. You look like a veteran, at least. No one sent someone useful. Tell you what, speak well with Lalash and see what he needs.
Looking for me
What do you need?
specifically?
Wendigo! When who go? A request for reinforcements for Lementhea is being ignored or delayed. Either way, we can't allow these Wendigos to march their forces and attack us en masse. Take some of them out. That would be the best way to... What? What is this? Why do you sell things for tokens? I have questions.
What happened to your face?
What happened to yours? I've had it with those Wendigo attacks. I want you to bloody their frozen noses and take out Talkas. Okay. Alkas are useful fighters, got it. Our kind is not meant for this environment. I'm from a bloody desert. I like the heat. I'm half tempered to set fire on myself just to warm up my bones. Yes, we're mining here, but the shards are running out, to say nothing of Wendigo hostilities. If you're looking for action, you come to the right place. There's an Amani scholar, Madire, who's trying to put an end to the mining. There's something about disturbing the balance in the region. Anyway, the full setup alone for the Azuri Shrine, naturally, we're not heard from him since. I wouldn't care, but he's got the guts, and that's what counts for a lot. Did you, like, go and find him?
Greetings.
Neither sleet nor snow nor Wendigos. There's nothing more terrifying than a massive Wendigo assault. Their predations grow more bold each day. We must secure this area if we're to succeed. I need you to slay some Wendigo racers and warlords. Can you do more killing?
Yeah, I know. All that and looks...
Wendigos aren't brutes, not by a long shot. They command magic as well as we do, and that's what makes them so dangerous. I want you to hunt down their
You looking to make a
Frost
deal?
Weavers and other things. I'm just gonna straight up head for the shrine and then work my way down because I'm slightly... The shrine has a giant portal on it, which I am slightly intrigued by, not gonna lie. I wanna stare at the portal. I think that would be a fun thing to do. Banana. Fried banana, still banana. It's very crunchy and not entirely good for my teeth. Ooh! More questy push. I'm sorry, found friendlies. Definitely a palpable shift in polaric energies around here. Definitely palpable. Oh, who are you? Well, I'm not in danger. I was ambushed earlier, but Enchamba and Curvus saved my life. Come to think of it, you made it out here without an army to back you up. Might be just who we need. There's a chance to make peace with the Wendigos, but we need your help. Me Chamba, this Curvus. We saved Madire, but Hyra's stronger. Hurt me badly. Need magic stone. You call Azure Shard. Search North Siege area. Find magic stone. Bring back. The people take all the shards. Wendigos die because of it. Madire say your people not want war with Wendigos, but he not stop mining. Will you help us find a solution? Okay, apparently I want to make the mages... I'm confused. I think I'm making the mages weak and stealing yellow stones. Other Wendigos led by Kyrus not willing to share shards. If you kill him, other Wendigos might be willing to listen to Grievous. No, but I mean, like, we still want to mine the region.
Respect my altitude.
The Bendigos claim our mining of shards is going to deplete them forever. They also claim the Azuri's shrine can grow them indefinitely if there's enough energy. I decided to believe them for now. We need crimson shards.
I'm here to help.
I would head southeast if I knew what direction was. And where things are cooking. There seems to be slightly more quest markers in this direction than up. I don't remember why, but you died. Sorry. Didn't want to be mean, just need to murder. I need banana slices. Because banana slices are really delicious. I also have some roasted chestnuts. And I haven't eaten them ever before. So that's pretty new for me. I love the sound of wind. What a great soundtrack. If I say it with enough conviction, maybe you'll even believe me. To murder so much. Hello. Good morning in most places, including mine. If I have to murder so much, at the very least, it could have made things drop. That would have kind of helped. I think those might have been special. Or those might be special. Oh, I think those are special. Yeah, that looks pretty special. Excuse me, my dude. No reason to touch you all now. But I do need your crimson shards. If you had kept them in your pocket, instead of on the ground, I would have at least poked you with my pokey stick. I think it might be a sword, but still. Can you guys, like, walk a bit closer to your neighbor's place? Thank you. I am trying to finish Tera before it shuts down. Quite specifically leveling. Tera is shutting down on June 30th. Permanently. There is private servers there too. But, yeah. it's about to be a dead MMO. It kinda is already because people got pissed and moved to private servers if they're still planning to play at all. But, like, not just dead, but like, you can't switch it on dead. Yeah. That's what most people do. Annoyingly, it wasn't even Gameforge that abandoned the game, it was the developers. Developers were like, can you just shut down our game, please? And my husband was trying the private server that's free leveling overhaul update, which makes the experience so much better. Because you don't have a very, very confusing intro that doesn't make a lot of sense, and you still have BAMs, and enemies actually hit not for a weak amount of hit. Like, I'm gonna be very surprised if there's any population at all on the server that I'm on right now. Like, I thought that I never saw a game this dead. Because I don't remember seeing a game this dead. But then my husband reminded me. You see, when Wildstar was shutting down, it was very, very alive. There were a lot of people that locked back in. Or... current population is probably not existent on live mode. It's very, very sad. Like, for real, if I met a single person, I would be surprised. But I forgot that I have actually seen an MMO be this dead. And it wasn't the old MMOs, because if you log into Guild Wars 1, you don't expect to see players, because it's a small-ish MMO-y thing that's more like a co-RPG, but in places where you would see people, like hubs, you're never gonna see people. But that is fine, because it's mostly a co-RPG, you go out and you play with bots. But the last time I saw a game this dead was on Wildstar, but not during when they closed it. Because when they closed it, there were a whole bunch of people on those servers. Up until the very death of the MMO. No, it was on the death of PvP servers. On the death of PvP servers, you had like 8 people online on the whole server at peak hours. A single zone, the entire server. That was the most dead I've ever seen an MMO be. And this might be trumping it, because I think there's nobody. Well, that's the way with all MMOs. At the very least, you guys already have your own private servers. That tends to be not the case with majority of MMO shutdowns. I think I'm trying to get a focus from these. All of my quests are murder. I don't remember much what they are. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to do a murder? Okay, I'm doing a murder. I'm really surprised to see a lot of those cards drop. They have been like completely not dropping for the longest time. I remember more than just the crimson shard. It was the yellow shards that I also needed to collect, but I have no idea where they are. Well, yeah. I'm not really speeding to max level at the moment. The idea is to just get there before the game shuts down, which I may be able to do. The idea is to see all the leveling content, at least at the moment. I might need to abandon the strategy when the shutdown gets closer. So depending how behind on schedule I feel next week will depend on if I'm abandoning it or not. Yay! Okay. Still need to do a bit more murder. I also get to just judge the quality of leveling up content, which is not too good, honestly. Yeah, I do, but I'm like level 46 doing level 43 quests. And I kind of wanted to hit 50 this week. Still have 2 days for that, but mostly because then 50 to 60 and 60 to 70 can be like week 2 and week 3. But leaving me with a week spare. Okay, there's a 3 on the map. For some bizarre reason. What is 3? Ah, yes, it's the yellow things. I am also anticipating a migraine, and during the migraine week, that happens every month, I do not stream. Or play games. Depending on how bad it is, I don't exist at all. Sometimes I even have to like close up shop and not do money-oriented things, which hurt a lot more than not doing anything else. I really wish that they took care of the leveling quests a lot more. I feel like I've been spoiled by other MMOs that didn't just go killing, 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 murder is fun, but it's practically all there is.
We're all brothers.
Murder fun. As possible, these shards can restore the Azuri's shrine and keep the shards from disappearing entirely from our world. There's a lesson to be learned about sustainability and balance. Our deeds match words. Achumba respect you and Madir, and now we can build future. Okay, I still lack blue stone. And something else. Well, I get to run this way now. Things might not be marked on my map, we'll see. Following markers blindly works really well until you manage to do something stupid and then need to backpedal quite a lot. I forgot to speak to the lighthouse keeper at the lighthouse the last time, and today I managed to do an instance wrong and had to reset it. Yay me! Ah! Okay. I think we just want you dead. Easy. Thank you. Yeah, we did just want you dead. Perfect. Ah, blue shards. Whenever I see Azure, I'm just thinking Azure Dragoon, which is probably not helpful. What color is Azure, actually? Azure! Description? Color? Between cyan and blue, thank you. I got Azure Cloud Services when I googled it the first time. It was probably definitely not what I wanted. It's a bit weird to have like the blue dragoon because I always associated Azure with red. I think simply because red is the color of blood and blood is what gushy outy when you killy pokey pokey. I don't want to increase camera distance more. I did not realize that you were a big bad. God damn it. I don't think that there's an achievo for killing you, unfortunately. I don't know, probably not very high. I had these settings set a very long time ago to make sure that my hardware can handle it. Settings? 2500, but it's only 720p. My system is a very fragile cookie. So the settings are there so it doesn't explode. Which still managed to get Tera to shut down a couple of times. And still had a couple of hardware failings on that. And I definitely can't stream Final Fantasy XIV until I replace my graphics card, methinks. Because that one can just crash down really easily, which is very... It's nice that I have other games to finish. When I finish Tera, though. Because, otherwise I would need to address my graphics card first, and I'm addressing that one as late as I can. Okay. Is this where I do the staff thing? Not yet. Hello. More important than strength is honor. Maida has it. Murtawake has it also. Everest will speak to Wendigos. We'll talk sharing the shards with your people. Then we part as allies. When we next meet, Kavros hopes it will be as friends. Just really don't think about how many people I have killed. Intel's releasing new ones soon, and that actually managed to make AMD and Nvidia tank their prices. So it's not even too bad right now, but still, like £300 would be half my husband's wage and like my full wage from one of my jobs, so it's not a light purchase. Coincidentally, that's about how much my teeth cost every year. Thank you, feel much better now. May dare tell truth. Federation not all evil. Change coming to Frostreach. Magic stones almost gone. Humans take too many. Wendigos need them to survive. The magical loop, the shrine, can make enough for both if we share. No greedy. Share.
For the Federation.
You're returning to Ice Base Stalker? Feel I must stay here and aid the Wendigos. Will you thank Sure for their concern? Sure, I will. Okay, so I still have some murder to commit. But it's no longer a lot of murder, it's a little bit of murder. Much better than a lot of murder. Normally I don't actually need to like think about my hardware all that much because I just play old things that are not intensive, which works very well. I remember when in 2013 this game looked very impressive. Excuse me, everybody. Could you come with me? We're having a party. Yeah, that's an insane price for a graphics card. 800 euros is not something that I would spend on anything that isn't like a full computer. Even then, I would try and aim for cheaper. It's just when your computer costs the same as a car, there's something really wrong with the prices. When something is very wrong with the prices, you may as well seek for a cheaper solution. Which can include just like getting Xbox and a streaming card. And that might work. Am I too used to a mouse? I am too used to a mouse, but I would take that over paying nearly 1,000 euros just for a graphics card. But then again, hopefully, soon, there will be no need. Because I'm on a 970. If you can believe it, which is really, really old. So, for me, finding a budget to upgrade... Finding a card to upgrade isn't too bad. You see, it might be, like, decent if you have a normal wage. Like, maybe people that earn a lot of money don't think about it, but, I always lived at kind of the bottom of the society. And the one time when I didn't, I seriously ruined my heart. Well, my family never lived at the bottom of the society. But ever since I moved out, that living on incredibly little was kinda the jam. So on the upside, I'm not starving, and another upside is that I kinda stopped wanting things for the most part. But I know that my husband quite wants a lot of things and a lot of hardware, and it does get on his nerves that that's impossible. Like, for me, the last sad bit was probably vacations. Because I'm never really having those. I'm not even, like, having days off, really. But I kinda got over it. Now it's just kinda mellow. Like, I have my acrylic paint. That's a cheap entertainment. I have books. I don't need to restock those very often. It's fine. And, my only indulgence tends to be candles. And if you're buying from IKEA, they're not too bad. Well fought. While the Wendigos are licking their wounds, we can reinforce our position. Good for you.
I'm busy. Tell me why I should care.
Splendid! Without their foci, Wendigos' magical might is greatly diminished, as is their threat. I'm still able to play MMOs and like pay a sub fee for those, honestly, and that would probably add up if I kinda looked it up with the sub fees that I paid over my life, but 8 euros is not the same as paying 3k for a computer. I have a job from home for moderating for a company for $7 an hour right now. And I also do tarot readings online from home. And I wrote a book, and I'm probably gonna write another one next year. I kinda got $200 of that book. Honestly, kinda not bad. It's almost $2 a page. I wouldn't even consider Twitch or YouTube money because that's like $5 a month. But it can pay some fee. So there's that. We got a reprieve thanks to you.
Remember why we fight.
I will come back to you in a second, my lady. Tulkas is dead? That's better than stein of hot buttered rum. That should teach the Vendigos to piss off Welkin Federation.
Such boldness.
Yeah, but it was also an occult book, so I can't really expect people to buy it. And I have no formal qualifications in writing, so I can't really expect publishers to take it. And if publishers do take a book, they normally offer something like maybe £3,000 for the writer, and that's about it. Like, book writing is an underpaid job. Now, my only annoyance is that my father wrote some books that weren't like all that great, but he got 4 Amazon reviews. I'm on 1. Wanna beat my father at it. All this fighting and misery over shards of crystal. My dear's point is well taken. We're not only tenants of this world. I will discuss your reports with the Praetor. Perhaps policy shift can in time to avert disaster. Yay! Maybe you guys can stop mining. Woo! My husband is doing a voice acting project as well, and he's planning to open a Patreon for that, hoping that maybe he's gonna get some money off that. It's always the thing when you do side gigs. Like, you're always doing something. True. I also did a small poetry book like years ago, but that was a lot smaller endeavor. The Wayfarer camp has asked for assistance. I cannot release any of my soldiers today, but you're not on my roster, are you? Get over there and help them out. Take the field, but lady, I thought I wasn't on your roster. What are you doing ordering me around? Where are you? Very comfy. You're at the next station point. Perfect. That is precisely what I like seeing. People going station to... I'm still kind of suspicious about the Azores Shrine, because it had a button that said teleport on it, and I'm like, are you a solo instance? Probably is, honestly. Probably gonna go back to Golem and Thea, report in, they're probably gonna be like, by the way, Azores Shrine. And I will be like, oh. Okay. From hobbies that nobody pays me for, I'm also building, I'm painting on my walls. It should be a relaxing endeavor, but I found it very stressful when my imagination doesn't quite go as far as I would like it to. And I'm like, something is missing, but I don't know what. The wretched place will be the death of me yet. By the core! I miss the hot sands of my home. Dangerous to let thoughts turn away from the dangers we face. I asked for help to make things a bit safer. Speak to Kohar. She has orders for you. I can't pronounce anything. Barabukti Frostreaver has sworn to use Eldric's shards to rebuild the Giant's empire. Of course, we're certain he's insane, but we want him dead nonetheless. Hunt down Barabuk and end his delusions of grandeur. Can't decide what's worse, not feeling my toes or those reports that the Ice Walker Barsicors have struck another prospecting team. The ice must flow! So get out there and kill the
Watching
Barsicors.
favors the patient.
Not that long. I want to finish this zone. And then
Just do what
I
I do.
want to probably visit Alamantia, and that's probably it. I have about 20 minutes max now. But I'll probably be back tomorrow and the day after as well. We Amani have our own traditions and tasks. It's expected of every warrior. Oh, thank you for following. To earn the title of Frostclaw by hunting a murderous beast. I was unlucky enough to draw the Frostguard Patriarch as my target. I fear nothing, but I won't throw my life away. So you would like me to do it for you? Great.
If you want my help, just say so.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I don't know why the way that he said it just made it sound like that. Please help me, my son wandered off. I fear he's trying his hand at hunting. Shalim's heart is huge, but he's no match for a bear or a Barsicor. Bear. We don't have wild bears wandering around. To say nothing of other dangers out there. Could you help me find him? Sure. I could give Shalim more personal instruction if I wasn't always worried about being attacked by giants. They're vicious and come out of nowhere. To kill some Ice Weaver giants, I'll make time to tutor Shalim, but I won't risk his life just to ease his boredom.
Boiling for some action.
See ya! And gosh darn. Sorry to hear about the surgery. Hope it goes well. And don't worry. I know it goes well. There we go. That's a better statement. Go, go, go. The safest way to hunt Mugado is with traps. But I ran out of frost wine. I'm not about to venture into Barsicor territory to get more. If you were to gather some frost wine, though, I would pay you well.
Gives us power.
What is it?
Luco's cold and grumpy, but this place isn't that bad. We're serving the Federation and making the world a better place. Of course, it would be better if we weren't fighting to survive, but into every day some rain must fall. Or snow. Lots and lots of snow. They might be giants. Those awful Ice Weaver giants attacked the mining team and stalked off with the Eldritch shards. I don't know what the giants would do with shards, but we want them back. The shards, of course. The giants, not so much. Please return my giants to me, thank you. It's not just two-legged foes we must fear. The Barsicors are ferocious. They can eat a whole family with a single meal. Since we're running out of families, I want you to kill some Frost Hunter Barsicors. Let their deaths be a lesson to other predators. Okay. This lady was, I like the lady. Let's leave it at that. That's a great lady. Hi, how killable are you? Ah, so this is like the Bam town. Bam, kablam, thank you, ma'am. But, like, a whole town. I missed everything there, that's not great. Yay! I'll need 4 of you. Cool. Itchy ass! Sorry to hear about that, buddy. Let me scratch it for you. Excuse me, where are you going? Excuse me, where are you going twice? Do I need any of you guys? Yes, I do. Why would I not need other types of wildlife? What is this? Not a killing simulator. Come on, return. Thank you. I thought he was gonna charge back, but no, the dude just kinda awkwardly sauntered. Ah, there we go. Dude awkwardly sauntered back. Good to know. I need one more. At least I don't need to kill goats. So that's like nice. Yay! All the big dudes are dead. Good for them. Well, rather good for me. I'm not too sure whether or not they would decide that being dead is good. Probably not. Probably would love to be alive instead, I would imagine. Do we have these deer things, but in a less awkward formation, perhaps? Like, not spread out through half the world, perhaps. That would be nice. Ooh, yes. I know these one. I accidentally killed one before. Up, clicking all the buttons. Now that I'm thinking about it, if there was like an attack and the person said your money or your life, I would probably be like, well, how much would you be offering for my life? I mean, I suppose at that point, if you have no money, there's no money to give, which is a very simple exchange. Oh, you readjusted. Cool. Well, hey, thank you. Thanks, Cookie, you're really nice. Need the nearest giant fish thing. Thank you. You will probably do. find it quite impressive that this fish specifically actually like readjusts. Three out of 4. Yay! All the fish are dead. Whew! Okay, so that is another one of these small things. You are a very specific enemy, I think. And you feel like you have less health than the fish did. Interesting. And the dead man is dead, and he will crush us all. Well, maybe by falling over, perhaps. There's probably a place where they're a lot more plentiful. But honestly, I hate running all around the map. That being said, I'll need to get back to Howling Glacier anyway. So I may as well start running back and kill any that I see on the way. I see it, means gotta kill it. Oh, that's another one that we need. It's like a fish, but tiny. Cool. I did not think that we needed any tiny fishes. I need the big ones. Oh, apparently this one's dangerous too. Cool. Have I just somehow managed to not finish fish? I have multiple quests for different kind of fish? What's happening? What is happening? Yeah, I have a quest for a different kind of fish. Interesting. Hello? wish that I could hit the fish even stronger. Need to get my muscles bigger. That way killing fish would go faster. Also quite interesting for them to just kind of blissfully exist over here when my quest log believes that they're somewhere else. Ah, there we go. Let me just kill one of these deer. Oh god damn it. Do that. That's me. Let me just kill one of the deer while I wait for the fish to respawn. Surprised that they're not back yet. Normally enemies are back very fast. Let me just maybe look for more deer in the meantime. Oh, that might do. I do believe that it's the same kind of fish. Maybe. I really can't tell them apart. Yeah, it's the ones that I need. Whoa. Glad to have found you. Would be a lot more glad if you were dead. Thankfully I can like take refuge underneath the fish thing. I don't know why I believe that this thing is a fish. Please don't question me. And don't challenge my beliefs. Locate like 4 more deer, all is well in the world. Yeah, those are like all the way on the opposite side of the map or here. And the game is like, hey, would you like to go to literally the opposite side of the map for them? That was a very efficient slaughter. Just went bong and died. So Murta's definition of fish is that it has 4 legs and is crawling on the surface of the water. Really don't question it. I think it's the fact that I'm lacking sleep that's doing it. I think I saw scales. Or maybe the shape of it a bit. Even though that wouldn't make sense for a fish, I don't know what kind of fish I'm eating. And I'm convinced that this is a deer. Very least, they share more similarities with a deer than those other things share with a fish. I might need glasses. I mean, I have glasses, but I'm not wearing them right now. That might be the issue. Okay, Ice Reaver Giants and Frostwine. Suppose I'll go all the way to the Frostwine and we're gonna see if we're gonna find any giants over there. At the very least, I don't need to go halfway through the world. Or the four-legged monstrosities that I have confused with fish. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm completely fine. Why do you ask? I want to at the very least finish Bleak Rock today. Ooh, Frostwine! This is like so not on the marker as well. I think they were like, "Sir, where would you like us to place the quest markers?" And the person in charge of that were like, "Whatever. Somewhere on the map. People will figure it out. Fine." Don't think about it too much. Regardless, there should be more towards the quest marker at the very least, I imagine, hopefully. If that's the opposite way around, it's gonna be quite funny. You guys were not marked anywhere where you actually were. That's not what you're supposed to be doing with quest markers. It's not how you quest marker. Yeah, at least this is definitely not a kill everybody quest. I'm killing nobody but the weeds. Don't turn around. Thank you. Barsicores are just so... Maybe I thought that they were a fish because barracuda? Barracuda is a fish? I don't know if barracuda is a fish. But for some reason I'm tying that name to a piranha. My brain is weird. Do not ask questions. There will not be answers. Making the questions kinda pointless, honestly. Okay. Still have to do some ice frosty things. Big frosty things. Ah, suspicious. You guys are so suspicious. Are you guys like level bad by any chance? I think they are. I remember seeing them before. I think it's like max level content of some sort, like find the suspicious traveler in some sort of map and do a thing, probably commit a murder, I would assume. Are you the giant? Yes, you are. Good. Let me guess, I'll need 4. remember the great good old times when enemies did not drop power-ups out of their ass while you were killing them? I do. I remember. Do you remember? I remember. Aha! Who's a dead boy? You're a dead boy! Who's a good little dead boy? Okay. That is definitely also a nice giant, I think. I think I can just click you to death at the moment. Yeah, I can. And I need one last giant. Excuse me, mister. There we go. That almost felt like a BAM zone, except these quests come right at the end at the last stop. Not the whole zone. But I remember when it was the whole zone. You have only probably the exact same amount as I just found here.
For the Federation.
Thank you. Completed your rite of passage for you. Guns are no small foe. You handled Barry Book well. Oh well. That's fun. Varsicors are awful creatures. The giants like to use them as skirmishers, and the divas use them as distractions. I just want to use them as lifelike ice statues. Aw, you're creative. And you know, Varsicor Mista is wretched. It's like rotten mutton, only worse. I only need you to kill them. I'll let the creatures of the waste eat what they can. With this shipment of shards safely returned, we can get this shipment and pay out for resupply.
For Kaya. For the Amani.
Your skill shames mine, Murtawake. I'm glad the Federation has soldiers like you out there. Thanks for thinning out the giants.
Just say so.
Can you bring it to Sonata? He says. And Sonata is in this direction. Hey, at least I have a lot of money. On all this, more fodder for money. I may not be rich in levels, but I do have some money. Hello.
Pick your jaws off the floor, boys.
Never let that faster. Good. Green? Screaming snow for you? Am I? I missed something. Ah, my son has wandered off. Okay, it's an old one. Somewhere in the screaming snowfield. Well, that's a firing name. I'm sure it's fine. I know that when I'm fine, I called my snowfield screaming. Well, at least you're alive.
People are great soldiers.
Go back to my father? Ha! I've never seen someone like you after me. He's a great hunter. You're well not. You can kill a Mogado cub. Kidding me. Really? Really, dude? You sure you want to be like this? I'm here handling friggin' babs and this dude is just like, if you can kill a regular mob, then maybe I'm gonna go back home. Oh, fuck you. Prove to me that you're worthy of this escort mission. Watch me be right as well. Watch it actually be like, I'm too scared to go to my mommy on my own. Please escort me. They're positioned like really inconveniently. I can never get both my hits, which is annoying. I mean, at least you're literally here.
Is that all you've got?
Wow, that's one then, Mogado. Perhaps I misjudged you, warrior. Can I stay with you? I could learn to fight like you do. Wow, I don't want to go back. He never lets me do anything. Clean this, cook this, stop hiding my weapons. Alright, I'll go back. Well, thankfully, our report seems to be in the last stop, so it's... We haven't lost the kid at Bleak Rock. We lost the kid at Howling Glacier. Much preferable. That means that I haven't, like, missed one quest that turns into 2 that then turns into 4. I just missed one quest. Okay, because I can just run and do it. It's not that bad. I need to just vendor everything again. Ah, so that's level 50 tokens, I see.
Triumph belongs to the strong.
Thank you for finding Shalim.
Oh, greetings!
Have everything. You can have my bank, I don't mind. I'm not gonna use the 44 ones again, so I may as well keep the 50 ones now. I'm really surprised that I actually like have bits and bobs for like these things because I didn't expect that. Now let's do the Alimentia teleport, which is gonna be highly inconvenient because it will once again place us like in the middle of the friggin' city and not where we need to be, fortunately. Now, all the way back to the flight manager. Why couldn't they just place the... You know what? You should have just placed multiple teleports in this place and let people choose. Because I'm gonna assume that people come in here to like cash currency and shit normally. If the game was alive, that is. And having the teleport that's not at the flight manager might be convenient, but at the same time... What if you were going in to cash your currency through the flight manager, then suddenly it's very inconvenient. So maybe there should have been multiple teleports, hey? And maybe even multiple flight managers. We just wanted to show off that you built a city. I think that's it. But you're right, your city is impressive. I'll admit that.
You need an assist? Respect my altitude. Farewell.
Hello, your boyfriend's dead. I think you might have felt me killing him. Woo!
Elves lead the way.
I know that expression. I worn it myself every time I had to tell some mother I let her child die in uniform. You don't have to tell me. The pendant's gone dark. Did he die easily? Thank you for saving him and for bringing me his last words. I always knew he was a brave man. Braver still for struggling against that curse, for fighting it long enough to tell me your pardon, Myrtlewick. I rescued the core and then I'll make sure Tulsa pays for what he's done.
The core's power.
I have a job for you, Myrtlewick, and everything about this is classified information. Rishan wants to ask you some questions about Argon structure the Mysterium received from Stepstone Island. I don't know anything about the place, I can't even find it on my maps, but I heard that you came from there. How did you know? After Samuel's death, Dougal informed of what he was doing to the letters of the leaders of the Federation. That included you too. I wish I could send you to track down Tulsa, but we can't turn down on the Mysterium. After all, we're fighting with the research subject. I'll be right back. Let me know if you find anything fishy. I would go with you if it wasn't for the core. You should use the teleporter. City teleporter, you say? The big thing that I used to get here, isn't it? Probably is.
Duty called me here. Remember well this means.
And on the upside, Quest is now level 44. Yeah, it is. No, wait, no? No? I suppose I can go there but footsies. Not that far. Closer to me than the teleporter is. It's a festival guide. I thought it was a person. Like person in this place.
Speak fast. Time is precious.
It's an honor to meet you, Myrtlewake. Thank you for coming. We were researching the Argon structure from Tera and the Sorrow Tree, but we found something quite strange. Is it about Anya? Anya? No, I don't know what that is. What we found is that even the smallest fragment of Argon structure can trigger a combination reaction when it goes near an object with life energy, even if the objects barely have any life energy left. But it's different from the tree's regeneration. You should see for yourself. Here, take this withered leaf and watch what happens when you bring it close to the Argon structure. I made a leaf! You see that, Myrtlewake? We can only conclude that Argons can modify other organisms through physical contact. Other regions are still at war, so the tree is the only safe way for us to continue our research. So I would like you to ask some questions about your experience with Argons on Stepstone Isle.
Would advice be welcome?
Structure had a sort of tube where something was clearly supposed to be inserted, but all the dudes that were retrieved that contained nothing. I'm sure that something must have been there at some point. The reports I've read suggest that you were close to the tree when Argons attacked. You tell me what happened. So the children were inside. If the tree reverted to its original form, that explains why the tubes were empty. The children have returned back to the tree, yes. Those children were not ordinary children. I don't think their experiences would help this particular research. Countless weeks of research and it still led me nowhere. I just couldn't understand their purpose or even their existence. A fellow sorcerer claims that this is a chance for something new, but I just can't stand him. Okay. Put your differences aside. Oh, so that's not a familiar face. Did you bring Mert away?
How interesting.
So you were the guardian from the Sorrow Tree. Typical high elves. They do all their analysis and they still miss the point. Their petty little minds can't handle the fact that dying creatures can evolve into something else. That's why it's impossible for them to fully make use of the core. So would you like to know what I found out about the Argons? Well, I am curious. It's hilariously simple. The Argons are from the unknown world. So they utilize transformation process in order to use their energy in our world. And surprise, it turns out that Argons discovered a way to produce energy in the most efficient way. Isn't that fascinating? It might be our energy, but the knowledge has become our best weapon against them. Just become stronger. You should see your face. I've never expected the Federation to understand me. Anyway, you're going to report all of this back to Freya, aren't you? Well, since I amused you, you can amuse me by doing me a favor. Give this document to Freya. I think my assistance here was enough to earn her permission to examine the core. Okay. And I'm footsying all over there again. Come on, dudes. Must be a better way to do this. Someone else do the footsies. Not me. But it's level 44 now, and I'm happy about it. Next one is 45, which is perfect. Look, look! You can see level 50 stuff. I can see it from over here, Mom. I can see the level 50 stuff with my own eyes. I think I was being dumb because I'm pretty sure that's a portal.
I'm here to help. See you at the victory box.
See you at the victory box. So there is a faster way to move around the city. Glad to know. I got you a permission to stare at the core. Hope you're a happy lady.
Elves lead the way.
Good work, but awake. Argons, I fought them even before I was a commander. We didn't know anything about them. Every day fighting them was a nightmare. But we still know so little about them. Somehow betrayal could have been the result of that kind of fear of the unknown. That's still hope, though. Federation still has you, don't we? Oh, and about this document, Malachi asked for permission to examine the core. He has no intention of helping Elementia. I'm sure that his research is only for his personal gain. And so this is classified information. The core was stolen. I'll just give him an evasive answer. Carry on! I'm sorry, what? I don't like stories coming out of Valpoldara, people turning into murderous mutants, the dead rising from the grave, that sound like fantasies, but our commanders in the field know better than to exaggerate. They say it's a plague. I need your help. Thank you. The quarantine zone is in Valpoldara. Oh, it's Frontera again! Everything's in Frontera now, I'm glad. Ah, everything aligns. Everyone will be going in the same direction. That's so perfect. I love it so much. Let's all go to Frontera. I'll be amazed if Tulsa wasn't involved. Necromancy, dark transformations, and guidance, and Tulsa was headed to Valparaiso with the core. Let me know when you're ready. We'll get a closer look. Let's go! Tulsa won't be easy. Prepare yourself. I understand. Ooh! That's convenient. To be fair, I was here in the Vestonia. Not Salamenthea. This is the zone that we absolutely skipped. Now I'm very close to where I was to begin with. It's not like we moved all that far. And aha! We have all those people over there. So for now, I'm gonna stop here. So thank you for watching, and I will return tomorrow, or today, or tomorrow. Well, it's technically it is gonna be tomorrow because whenever I stream it's after midnight, but for me it's also technically, it's hard. Time is hard. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna see if I can do a longer stream. I know that 3 hours and 50 minutes is kind of on the long side to begin with, but I do want to like kind of at least hit like level 50 this week, and I only have like 2 days to do it, so yeah. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Toodaloo.